Yeah. Hello again. So today is Friday and we have a class. English Conversation Seminar 1. We've been talking about how to use communication. This second unit has given us also the structure, and it has invited us to analyze the structure in the English language. And in order to do that, we had to study phonemes. That was the first part that we started studying. And then we went to study the stress, which in English is not just to accentuate a syllable, but it's also used to accentuate words. So that's the way that the English is it's pronounced. It goes that way that you have to go changing the stress that you're putting into your pronunciation depending on the words that you're using. So there was a few hints last week that we have to learn about those, and that you were submitting a homework. The last time was today, right? And after that, to keep talking about the structure and to analyze the English language, we have to talk about a few more things, which are prefixes, suffixes, and roots for the word. So how are the words built? And yes, you're going to have to read a little bit of that, and you're going to have lots of fun this week. There's going to be an interesting and different homework this week. Yes. And it's also part of the homework an invitation for next week. Because part of your homework, you are going to be presenting it next week. Where? Over here, through our meeting, through the video conference. Yes, everybody is going to be presenting next Friday. So in order to understand what you're going to be doing, I'm going to walk you. I'm going to walk you through the steps that you need to be doing this week. So just so that you know, you have Unit 2, Structure Analysis of the English Language in the Platform, and you need to go and look at it in Canvas. And once you're there, there is information that is being said over there. You have this information, prefixes, suffixes, and roots that you are invited to go and look at it. And there are readings over there. So you're going to be reading about building vocabulary. There's also this other reading from beginning English that it also talks about the same topic, roots, prefixes, and suffixes. There is these 2 web pages that are recommended. And I just want to let you know, like when you open through Canvas, the web page, Canvas don't want to open it up because just in case it's covering its own platform. But you have to go here to the link and use the link to open it up. So it's automatically gonna go and open up the web page. So I'm walking you through the information. So again, you are in Unit 2. There is 2 web pages that you are recommended to read. So you click on them. Canvas is not going to show you the web page, but Canvas always has the link to it. So you click on the link and automatically you are going to be redirected to it. Okay. So these are 2 very nice, very cool web pages that you can just use them to study. And of course, you can just look for some more information over there that can help you a lot. All right. So those are, I'm going to go back to those to check them and we will get to it. So if we go back to the unit number 2, you already have the set of 2 different homeworks. The first one, it's called manufacturing vocabulary. That's another part that we need to cover during this week, the manufacturing vocabulary. And this vocabulary, it's going to be so helpful for you in your life and whenever you're going to start working. And if you're working right now at this moment, it's going to be helping you a lot. So some of this vocabulary is very technical. Some of the vocabulary, thankfully, it has the same roots as Spanish. Remember that one of the languages from the Greek and Roman roots that is similar to Spanish is English. So many of the words are very similar in the root, at least in the root. The difference here, you already know about stress of the words, is the pronunciation of the word. But for that, it's about practicing. You already know that in any language, if you want to pronounce the word correctly, well, you need to practice that. So over here, you have a quiz. I'm showing you just that you have a quiz. And it has time, 30 minutes to complete 10 questions. But the advice for to solve this quiz is different. It tells you, make sure to read and study before answering the quiz. What are you going to study for the quiz? Since I'm telling you that it's manufacturing vocabulary, we have to go back to the home page of the class. We go to Unit 2, Structure Analysis, and we go at the beginning when it says class lecture. We go to manufacturing vocabulary. It's here. It's a collection of vocabulary. It all is also, I took it from a very nice source. It's a document. And so once we wait for it to get open, this is a set of words that you need to read them. You need to use your dictionary. You need to write them down in your notebook in order for you to understand those words, to be able to understand those words. So it seems that it's not showing from here. I'm just gonna go and open it from the root in my computer. So it's taking too long for Canvas to start showing it. So I'm just opening from Word. And so I switched. So you should be able to see right now the Word document. Just let me know. Make some noise, please, that if you are able to see the Word document. Yes, no, maybe.
Yes, we
Yeah.
can see it.
Okay, thank you, perfect. So this document, I took it from this web page that is called ThoughtCo. And so, oh, I made a mistake here, sorry. It's called English as a Second Language and the topic production and manufacturing vocabulary. If you don't want to just go through this document, you can just go and click on the link and you are going to automatically be redirected to the web page. So as it says here, learners plan to work in industry, as you are doing right now. It's crucial for you to learn essential production and manufacturing vocabulary. It's essential. Use these terms starting point for general vocabulary study or students with specific learning needs. So it's something that you need to learn and understand. The production and manufacturing terms in the table are provided. So there's a table following in alphabetical order to make it easy for students and English language partners. Okay, so take a look at this. It's a lot of vocabulary that some of this vocabulary might be new, but some of the vocabulary is, like I told you, it's very similar to Spanish because it comes from the same root. which is very good for us. When we read them, if we are just using our eyes to understand the language, it's easier because the words look so similar to Spanish. But what happened when we hear them pronounced by someone? So that's another story. That's why we need to get familiar with these words. My advice to you, I'm telling you to go through the vocabulary, study it. How are you going to study it? So you read the word, for example, this word, anti-sleep. Get your dictionary ready. My advice is to use an English dictionary. But since you are using your online resources, so go, I'm gonna show you what I will advise you to do if you were using internet. So you go and open a new web page. And so you write down over there, anti-sleep, and then you say definition, English. I'm not recommending you to go and look for something that is English Spanish because it takes more of your brain energy to first try to understand it in Spanish and then try to translate everything and then now start understanding it. So it takes more time. So if we go and check the definition, very nice and recommended place to go and use is this place, the Merriam-Webster. So you're gonna have hundreds of places that you can look for the definition. The Merriam-Webster is a very good used English dictionary. So you can check it over here. It says, designed to prevent sleeps or to be resistant to sleeping. And it also gives us, look, the phonemes. Do you remember how to use those phonemes? Maybe you forgot. Well, you have the option to listen to it, right? And to sleep, okay? So if you forgot how to read them, you can also click on it and repeat it as many times as you need, okay? So there's also another way to keep learning this. Keep going, go back to Google, write down anti-sleep just by itself, no definition. Go look, or you can write down examples. If it's hard for you to understand this, go through images. And then you are going to find images. Why am I showing you this? Well, if you want to learn a little more, remember that we learn through all of our senses. Touching, watching, by seeing, smelling, tasting, hearing. So we need to put all of our senses to it. And my recommendation is not just to read the definition, but to also look for something that you can see as an example. And you can see it, like, for example, in this photograph, in this picture, you are seeing there is a foot and there is, well, it's not actually just the foot, is the shoes, and it's also the floor. The floor, you can see that the floor has certain structure that it's sort of rough. It's not just slippery or the opposite of anti-slip. So you can see that if you step on that kind of floor, it's going to put some resistance in between your shoe and the floor. So it will be better to walk through this type of floor that is anti-slip, okay? So yes, that is an example. So that's my recommendation is to go and look for the definition, but also look for some examples. And if you can see the examples, it's even better. Go and find some explanation on it. And you can just go through them. It's assemble to order product, assembly process, assembly line. Look at this, assembly line, very similar to Spanish. What you're thinking right now, yes, that is the definition. You just need to understand the way that is used. Automation, very similar to Spanish, same roots, okay? It's the same. Auxiliary materials, you already know the definition of this. And so on. If you go and look at backlog, bar chart, oops, I'm moving this one. Bulk production, byproduct, colleague, finished product, and so on. Maintenance, manufacturing costs, expenses, industry, overhead plants. And the list keeps on going. To order backlog, laboratory tests, manufacturing time, stock, inventory, stock level, depletion, his work, research and development, and so on. So the list is long and goes on and on. So I am recommending you again, if you really want to learn, you're going to take your time and you're going to use your notebook. You're going to write down the words, and especially those words that you totally don't understand them, you're going to write the definition of them, and you're going to look for examples. You have the whole week to study this, which is very nice and very good. You have lots of time. Make time for English. This vocabulary is going to help you in life as a professional engineer. It doesn't matter if you don't go and work for an international company. If you are leading with suppliers, if you are leading with clients, eventually you are going to have to use this vocabulary, even if you work in Spanish, okay? Because there is many vocabulary, a lot of English vocabulary that is already being used in industry. So you need to understand, you need to know the meaning of this vocabulary. So again, my advice is to go and take a look at it. Before you do, well, I'm putting a lock to it. I am asking you to solve a quiz, which is a little exam. You can do it twice. So it doesn't matter if you did it wrong the first time, but you have a second time to solve that little exam or that small exam. For in order for you to understand the vocabulary better. So you go back to it. I'm going to show you again the quiz. I'm not going to show you the questions because you have to go and take your time to complete that one. It's at the end over here. So it's called like that, manufacturing vocabulary. Like I told you, make sure to read and study before answering. Study the vocabulary, please. Make sure to read and study, okay? The total given time to complete the quiz is 30 minutes, and you can attempt to complete the quiz twice. Pretty good, huh? So everyone should be able to get 100, but it depends on you. So, but that's not it. You have the second assignment, which is related to the vocabulary and roots and prefixes and suffixes of a word, which is this other one. The making of a poster. Yes. I'll take a look at this. You will have to build a poster. How are you going to do that? You can use PowerPoint or Microsoft Word, or you can use any other program if you like, if you prefer Publisher, that's the other program, or whatever. At the end, you're going to submit a PDF file. So you need to make sure that you can convert that file to PDF. So that poster, it's about explaining what manufacturing means and using two examples. So you have to go through the vocabulary and through the examples from the web pages and files that I uploaded to you about roots and more words, prefixes, suffixes, and so on. So You have to have two examples. It tells you two examples should be written, and also you need to use pictures and photographs. What are we talking about when we say poster? The straight translation to Spanish is cartel. So you need to make a cartel. That is a piece of paper which has pictures and it has a structure explaining a topic. Here, you are going to choose two examples about manufacturing. You have to use the words in the vocabulary file. It's giving you a hint over here. Again, if you click on this link, it's going to take you again back to the platform when you can see that file that I just showed you. And it's telling you here also, but the written part in your poster must have the use words from the prefixes, suffixes, and roots. I'm going to show you those from the suggested web pages in Unit 2. Your poster should have at least 5 of the words from the vocabulary that we just saw, okay? Then the instruction is you. It's individual work. This is not a teamwork. Everyone is going to be doing it. You will turn a PDF file with your poster. Make sure to use creativity because the same day, by October 9th, that's what I was telling you at the beginning. Next week, you will be presented in class through the video conference. You should prepare a 2-minute presentation. No longer than that and no shorter than that. I mean, we are not looking forward to see a 1-minute presentation. No, it should be around 2 minutes. There's a special note because, professor, I'm sick. I can't get in. I won't be able to get in. I'm working, or many excuses. For those special cases with some students that are working during class time, you must send your professor, I'm talking about me, you should send to me a video with your presentation no longer than 2 minutes. So you're gonna send it to me through email, of course. It also counts the file, it's up to 100, but then we have a special presentation next week, which is gonna be so cool. Everybody's going to be speaking in front of an audience. Because we have been talking about the English language and how the English language is being built and how it's important to speak, to communicate, and the stress of the words, the phonemes, etc. So now it's time to put it into practice. So for next week, you have a very nice, cool assignment, which is the poster. And of course, like I said, you need to be creative. Everyone is going to be talking about manufacturing. All of you have the same topic. The difference relies on the two examples that you are going to show us, the pictures, the graphs that you are going to choose for your poster, and the information that you're going to share. So everybody's brain is different. Therefore, every poster should be different, right? Mm-hmm. So, in terms of talking about roots, here's the thing. We have a common Latin and Greek roots, which is perfect. Many, many words are similar to Spanish. And the written part and also the pronunciation is sort of similar. The root, most of the time, it's pronounced very similar to what we have in Spanish. So, like, for example, when we have this part, aqua, when you hear the root aqua, what are you thinking? Automatically, since it is the same root, you start thinking about water. When you have that root in a word, it's talking about water. So, for example, aquarium, you already know that it's talking about a place where there is a lot of water. An aquarium. Aquamarine. So you see, you have the same root. There's someone talking in the chat. Aquaman. Yes, exactly, Hasnael. You already know, even if we're laughing here, you already know that the name Aquaman came because there is a man that is in the water. He can do and live in the water. Aquaman. And he can manipulate the water. If you haven't seen the movie, the recent movie in the last years, it's very nice. Go and watch it. And well, it's one of the ones that I have watched it like 2 or 3 times. Stop the commercial. So, and for example, this other root, form. Form. In your head, you are already thinking form. It sounds like forma, like in Spanish. So it's that translation and the definition is that shape. And when you see examples like conform, reform, so you already know what's happening. And here you have prefixes. If you know the meaning about the roots, the prefixes and suffixes, automatically you know a lot of vocabulary, probably everything. And you wouldn't be needing to use a dictionary if you were to know the roots, prefixes, and suffixes of the words. Huh, interesting, isn't it? Yes, and that's for every language, at least for the ones with Greek and Latin roots. I was telling you Roman roots, but it's Latin, yes. For example, like this one, multi or multi. A lot of, it's the same definition that we use in Spanish. Like I'm telling you, it's the same root. So it means many. Multimedia, multiple is the same. You already know what it means. Another one, struct, which means to build. And you have the root over here, struct. So you have the prefix D, D-E, and you have the suffix shun, right? So you have destruction. And over here, the prefix is RE and the suffix is ture. So you can say restructure. But you already know the meaning of this. Huh. Very nice, isn't it? So in reality, the reality for the vocabulary that you and me and everyone already knows, it's a lot. So that's why I'm telling you that you already know a lot about the language, about the English language. You already know so many words. You just need to put them into practice. And that's why giving you an assignment like the poster is going to help you practice a little more, because you're going to be reading, you're going to investigate more research about it. You're going to use also your creativity to put those words together. And then you're going to practice speaking, and then you're going to present it to an audience. Huh, very nice. I'm excited. I'm waiting for next week to see how this is going to go and how it's going to happen. So for examples, more example as roots, not just Latin roots, the Greek roots. We have, for example, this one, auto. Huh, we already know what it means. Yes, comfort, comfortable. Yes, Anna, good example. Auto, it means self, like autobiography, automobile. Bio, you already know that one a lot too. It means life. So biology, like the suffix of log, you already know that it means study of. So Biology is the study of life. Biography. Chron, it talks about time. So when we talk about chronological, so it's a logical order in time. Chronic, time, and it means something that lasts or it's getting worse through time. Chronic. Gram, huh? Something that is written, like epigram, telegram. Graph, so that's something that you're writing or posting, a graphic, phonograph, etc. Micro, you already know that micro means small, like microbe, microscope, microwave oven, like that. Mono, huh? Who doesn't know that root? Mono means one, like monologue, monotonous, etc. Techno, huh? It means art, science, skill. So you have examples like technique, technological. Nice, isn't it? Tele, that's the root. It means far off, which means it's used for like television, telephone, teleconference, telework. it's, it's called like that. Hmm? So, and there's also, those are the roots. The roots give you so much about a word. They define a word or part of the word. But you have the affixes, which are prefixes and suffixes. So one other method in understanding the meaning of words is to analyze the other parts of the word, not just the roots. And over here, if we keep scrolling down the web page, you have examples for prefixes. And if you keep scrolling down, you are going to have also examples for suffixes. So for example, the prefix, the prefix, it means that it goes at the beginning of the word. Okay, that's the the beginning of the word. So that means that the root is going to be after. And suffixes are the end of the word. So that's a very easy to understand. I hope so. So for example, the prefix anti or anti, it means against. So for example, anti-climax. So it means that it's never gonna get into the climax. And that is for, it's never going to get to complete the work. Another example, for example, inter. Inter. You already know the meaning of this. It's like in between, in the middle of something, among. So that's the definition. And for example, interrupt, to break something. But to interrupt is to break, for example, a conversation, to interrupt, right? Miss, it has the meaning of wrongly. For example, misspell. Huh, it's telling that the spelling is wrong. We also use a lot this prefix in English classes when we're saying, oh, that's mispronounced. It means that the pronunciation has a mistake, an error, mispronounced. Non. Come on, you have to know this one. It means not. And for example, non-violent. Huh, you shouldn't be violent, non-violent. Like the prefix that is called pre, which means before, preview as an example. Sub, it means under, like the example subway. Yes, and so on. So you are going to have time to go through all of this and read them. You also have to use them in your poster. So your poster is required to have words from the vocabulary of manufacturing, and also the use of words with these prefixes, suffixes, and roots that are on these lists that I'm showing you now. Suffixes, for example, the suffix able or able, it means that it is or can be. For example, affordable. It is affordable. It is not expensive. You can pay for it. Sensible. It could be, it could feel the senses. Sensible. So it has the meaning that senses are attached, like feelings attached to it. Sensible. Ah, this person is too sensible. Uh-huh. So that's the meaning. And we're not using dictionary. We're only taking a look at the meaning of the prefixes, suffixes, and roots. ing, the suffix ing, the end of the word, which it presents the participle, like sleeping. So sleep is the action, but sleeping in participles is telling us it's happening. ing, happening right now. So less. This is a very, it's a lot of use for this one. Less. That's the suffix less. It means without. So for example, hopeless. Without hope. There's no hope. You're hopeless. I hope not. I hope that you're not hopeless. Okay. ly. It means how something is. For example, lovely. You already know what the love means. But if it's lovely, something really nice. It's lovely. And you can use this word to refer to things or to people also. Oh, that's a lovely person. Yes. Okay. So this is also, you can also download a copy on this information. If you click on that, and you can go and find more about that. I also recommended this other webpage, which is from Live Abilities. You can also go to this one, and you're going to see again some roots like alter, Amy, amphi, anthrop, bell, rev, chrome, and so on. And you can go through examples over here also. You keep on going. You have prefixes the same way, but it's a nice long list. Suffixes and so on. Yes. So very nice and interesting class. And I also uploaded these two PDF files on your platform. When you open them, it's more information about that, building vocabulary, prefixes, roots, and suffixes. It's giving you more examples here. You have more prefixes, like for example, every prefix that starts with ab, or abs, it means away from. The examples like absent, abscond, and then it's telling you the definition of the use or an example of where to use that word, and so on. So the list is long. I'm just showing you the files. If you want to go to the original file, it's telling you that it is in here from the beta group. So just use it. And so that's it. That's it. That was the explanation for it. Like I said, I was going to keep it short. If you have any questions on what you're going to be doing this week, let me know, as it right now will be better. Like what we said, you have a quiz, but you need to first study the vocabulary. So what you're going to start doing as it right now, after we finish this class, you're going to start reading, going through the vocabulary, try to understand the vocabulary, write it down on your notebook, look it up on dictionaries, like I show you, look for the definition, and look for some pictures, examples, so you can understand better. And then when you feel ready about the vocabulary, go and answer the quiz. Then after you finish that, start working on your poster. And your poster should be creative, nice and creative.
I have a question.
Go ahead and ask a question. Good.
On the quiz, the questions are going to be the definition of the vocabulary.
No. Okay, good question. On the quiz, and there is a sentence where the vocabulary is used. So there's a sentence with a blank space that you have to fill the blank. And you have been given about 4 options. So it's multiple choice. So you're going to have 4 options. You choose the option that better completes the sentence. And that's it. Yeah. So it's about, yeah, it's manufacturing, everything in there. It's about productivity, timing, warehouse, the talking about with suppliers, the backlog, all of those words that I just told you, they are in the quiz. Yes. So
Okay, thank you.
you're welcome.
I have
Anytime.
another question.
Go ahead. Thank you.
Okay, on the poster,
Yes.
we are going to talk about
About
Is that correct?
manufacturing. Yes, correct. It's about manufacturing. You're going to talk about manufacturing. You are not being asked to define manufacturing. It's a big, super huge topic. Big, big topic. So you are going to choose 2 examples. You may choose to define manufacturing, that's fine, but that's not the main idea of the poster. You may choose to define or to make a little definition about manufacturing, but you need to choose the 2 examples. For example, I can put in my poster about a production line. It's part of the vocabulary. And then I can make a definition, I can put pictures. And I can also include lean manufacturing, or I can include the definition of the technique which is called the MOST, which is about timing, and is a study for time and movements or motion. And I can choose that. So I can explain the technique, use some pictures to it, and that's my second example. But I need to remember that the words that are in the words that are in my poster, I need to show the 5 that I choose from the vocabulary, at least 5 of them. So make sure to highlight them or something. So yeah, that's it. I don't know. Did I answer the question, Carmen?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. Any other question? Probably you guys had the same question as Carmen, right? Yes. So for this class, it's being recorded. I'm going to upload it again, and it's going to be available in the class. I'm not going to give you extra work for this video, but if you want to go and check the instructions, you better come back and look at it. For example, there's one of you that just got here when we were about to finish, Carlos Romero. He just got here. He doesn't have any idea of what happened. So he has to go and watch the video to understand what's going on for the class. All right, guys. Very great to see you. It's been fun to see you, to meet with you again. I hope you understood. And if you didn't, remember to go back to the video, play it, play it, stop it, and try to understand what we're doing. And there's always my person. I'm available every day. If you have any questions, I have a few of you who always ask. I'm very glad, but it's always been about 4 people of this group. So I'm glad for them that they are putting the effort in studying. For the rest of you, I'm advising you to contact me and ask me about what you're doing. Okay, so see you then. then I'm saying goodbye to you. Have a nice rest of the week and a nice start of the next week. Goodbye.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye-bye.
Bye, teacher.